everyone, welcome to my video. My name is Pavita and I'm from class F. So today I like to share what I've learned from a podcast episode I listened to. The episode is part of a podcast called A Better You, and the topic I choose is something that feels really close to my personal experience. It was a boundary setting.
You guys know I love starting these episodes with a little bit of a definition. So, for one, what are boundaries and what does it mean to set them? I have here written down that setting boundaries is the process of establishing limits and guidelines for how you want to be treated by others. They are limits we set for ourselves, and everyone's boundaries are different, and they are based on what is personally important to us.
So, in this episode, host Fernanda Ramirez discussed the significance of establishing personal boundaries in various aspects of life, including emotional, physical, and time-related boundaries. She shares personal experience and insight on how setting boundaries can lead to healthier relationships and improve self-respect. I chose this topic because it resonates deeply with my current life situation and personal growth journey. As someone who often struggles with saying no and prioritizing my own needs, learning about boundary setting feels incredibly relevant. I believe that understanding how to establish and maintain boundaries is essential for my emotional well-being and overall happiness. This topic not only addresses my personal challenge but also offers practical strategies that I can apply in my daily life. From this podcast, I learned the critical importance of setting emotional and time boundaries in daily life. Fernanda explained that boundaries are essential for protecting our mental health and ensuring that we engage in healthy relationships. She provides various examples of different types of boundaries, such as emotional boundaries that protect our feelings, physical boundaries that respect personal space, and time boundaries that help manage commitment. I found it particularly enlightening how she emphasizes that setting boundaries is not selfish. It is a necessary act of self-care. This perspective shift has encouraged me to reflect on my own boundaries and consider what behavior I will no longer tolerate from others. In terms of language, I learned several new vocabulary words such as assertiveness, self-respect, and emotional well-being. Additionally, I noticed the effective use of I statements throughout the podcast. For example, phrases like I need some time for myself or I cannot take this on right now are used to express personal needs without sounding confrontational. This approach not only helps in communicating boundaries clearly but also fosters a respectful dialogue with others. I gained valuable insight into how cultural factors can influence boundary setting. For instance, in some cultures, individuals are taught to prioritize the needs of others and to always say yes, which can make it challenging to assert personal boundaries. This cultural conditioning can lead to feeling of guilt or anxiety when trying to establish limits. Understanding this aspect has broadened my perspective on why some people may struggle with boundary setting and has made me more empathetic towards their experience. One of the challenges I faced while listening to the podcast was keeping up with the fast-paced conversation, especially during moments when Fernanda shared personal anecdotes or insights. At times, I found it difficult to catch all the details, which made me worry about missing important points. To overcome this, I replayed certain sections to ensure I fully understood the content. Additionally, I found that pausing the podcast to think about what was said allowed me to absorb the information more effectively. To wrap things up, this podcast has taught me not only how to set boundaries, but also why they are so important for maintaining healthy relationships and protecting my emotional well-being. It also helped me improve my listening skills, my vocabulary, and gave me a new perspective on how culture can shape our behavior. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope my experience can inspire others to start thinking about their own boundaries too. See you and take care. Bye-bye.